We've talked about the characters of music for Little Mozart, and they're more than just on the page. There are actual little stuffed animals and a little ballerina that go with the course. And they have many different roles, I think. Beethoven Bear and Mozart Mouse are the main characters, and they're used from the very beginning. In the first lesson book, Mozart Mouse likes high sounds, Beethoven Bear likes low sounds, and so the students can physically place the bear and the mouse in the correct location on the keyboard, and they have a kinesthetic relationship to the sounds that's really, really helpful.
We call them their music helpers.
They're music helpers, right? Yes.
And also, I use them a lot in singing, so we sing in Beethoven Bear's voice because we'll often have some kids who can't match pitches, and so we sing it in Beethoven Bear's voice, and then Mozart Mouse says, but what about my favorite sounds? Can we sing it in my favorite voice? And then we sing it up ridiculously high. And so when they can feel how it feels to sing in a really low voice or in a really high voice, then it helps them find the pitch more easily.
Parents also often ask, do the students need to have their own animals at home? We usually say that they need a Beethoven Bear and a Mozart Mouse. The other animals are used in a lot of different ways. Some parents use them as rewards for completing a level. Actually, when our son was studying music for Little Mozarts, he would take the animals and arrange them like they were in the pictures on the page before he played that particular song. Or that particular piece, whichever it happened to be. And they can become real aids in the lesson in a situation like that.
And because they're so young and have such a great sense of fantasy, they really begin to feel like the characters are real to them. Mm-hmm. One of my little students, at one point, J.S. Bunny goes to the big city with all the other music friends, and he leaves his cello on the train platform. And there's a song that goes, oh dear, my friend the bunny is not here. And I looked at this little girl, and she had tears that were welling up in her eyes because she was so worried about J.S. Bunny. But then
where was he?
The conductor finds him, and all is well, and they continue on their journey. But they really become so attached to the helpers.
And they're nice to have in the studio. You know, they look forward to coming to their lesson and having these little music friends there with them.
I have to admit that as a gift, I give them the helper who is predominantly the star of the next book when they graduate from one book.
Oh, that's a good
because
idea.
I worry that the parents don't want to spend extra money when they're having to buy CDs and books and all that sort of thing. So I give them the gift of the next one, which is very exciting for them, especially Clara Schumann Cat, who is so snuggly that they all want to sleep with Clara Schumann Cat, even for
cute.
Years after.
Yes, yes.
Actually, Christine still sleeps with Clara Schumann Cat.
But do you remember when we first sat around the table here and we were brainstorming this whole course? And it was when the Mozart Effect book had come out, and that was all the rage. You know, Mozart. And I don't know how we came up with it, but we
were just being very silly.
Yeah, and we're like, Mozart
they
Mouse.
were being very silly.
We have the
and he was being the party pooper as usual. So yeah, and we thought, oh, we could have these little stuffed animals, and we're like, oh, they're never going to go for this.
And then the warehouse just came unglued about how are we going to.
This is the behind the scenes stuff of the animals, But they've been great. And, you know, I have given them to students who aren't even in the course. I just gave a couple of them to one of my students as a reward for some great work he had done. And he was so excited to get these little stuffed animals. So they're fun. They're a lot of fun.